Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Blaster, blasting you with the truth. Today, on this particular broadcast, I'm talking about living check to check. I figured out some ways that can get people out of living check to check. So, I want to talk about some of those ways in this brief time. I'm going to be brief. Make sure you watch the whole video. Like it. Like, some of y'all act like you can't like a person's video. And like, this is what I do. I intentionally have subjects that I know people like and people still don't like. Like, I don't know if some of you are jealous. I don't know if some of you don't want nobody to take your spotlight, but I don't know. Anyway, we're talking about check to check. Ways not to live check to check. Personal finance video. Okay. Now check to check. Let me correct something that people often say that's just not true. Check to check is not only money. Check to check is all around options like ownership. Like, do you have any resources that you can tap into if something were to happen? Now, resources such as stocks, savings, things you can sell, etc., and so forth. So we're going to talk about that on today because, for one, to me personally, if you over the age of 40, you should not be check to check. You're doing something wrong. Now, we still be in our mistake stage in our 30s. Like, we make horrible mistakes in our 20s. We still be making mistakes in our 30s. But once you hit 40, that's when life's supposed to begin. That's when you're supposed to figure it out. If you're a man, you shouldn't be so thirsty no more. You should be more driven to accomplish than to get you one off, if you know what I mean. So, how do you avoid being check to check? Now, here's what's weird. I was watching videos on YouTube, as I normally do. I try to make sure I watch personal finance video and watch videos involving everything in every area of my life. And I watched a video about a savings challenge where you save 1 cent a day and you go up 1 cent, and by the end of the year, I believe it was like $667 that you would have, and the most you would have had to save was $3.65, which is the last day of the year. It's 365 days in the year. People ain't got that. You can't blame Trump for that. You can't blame Biden for that either. Like, I don't like what Democrats stand for, but you can't blame that on no politician. If you work every day, every week, that's on you. Because for one, number one reason I would say to stop living check to check is pay yourself first. You don't got that much money to do the 365. You can either start out with the $3.65 and end up with a penny, or start out with a penny and end up with the $3.65. But for most of you, if you had $667 saved, you're not check to check anymore, because your paychecks let's say your paychecks are under that amount. You got that amount saved. You're not considered check to check anymore. Like, that's such a small amount. Like, and then you start needing things that cost $200, $300, $400, and you can't buy them because you're check to check. Now, if you were to start doing some of these savings challenges from beginning to end, and you start challenging yourself, like me, I collect cans. I don't care what nobody say. I don't throw cans away. I save cans, and every couple months I cash them in. Just like I save my change. And every couple months I split my change with my wife and my kids. And my portion of the change every couple months, I'll take it and I'll cash it and put it in my savings. Because, and then all that little buying Christmas gifts and all that, listen, you don't go into debt for a pagan holiday. You don't go into debt for that. If you can't buy Christmas gifts without breaking yourself, like this is what you do. Whatever your check is, you have to get that saved up. Or no less than half of what your check is, not to be check to check. Minimum. So if your check is $600, you should have $300 that you're not going to touch unless it's an emergency, or the full $600. So the first way I say you can avoid being check to check is by paying yourself first. Every time, all the time. I also, some of you have Cash App. You can buy those expensive stocks, the portions, buy and sell them. Me, every 14th of the month, I have money drawn out of my checking account that I put in stocks and things on Cash App. Money is a marathon race. It's a marathon race, and you have to be willing to start that race. If you a person that's always have to buy and you don't feel you always spend on every dime you have, you need to find out what your issue is. You're dealing with some either self-esteem issues, trying to be accepted with people, or something's going on. So you need to find out what's going on. Again, number 2, you got to save something. If you can't organize it, you're like, okay, well, I get paid every week. I'm going to save $2 per day. So when I get paid, I'm going to put up $14, and no matter what, I'm not going to touch it. You keep doing that over and over and over, and you won't be check to check. You get your tax refund. You got 6 flat screens in your cart. You spending all the money trying to look like you got money. You don't, in today's world, like I live in the Midwest, I live in Milwaukee. You don't want nobody to know what you got anyway. Because it's a lot of people who are settling for being lowlifes, for trying to get quick fixes, for trying to rob other people and steal. So you don't want to present that front all the time anyways. So that's number 2. You have to find a way to save. Number 3, I would say you have to invest. You have to invest consistently. Like a lot of people don't invest at all. They think some of y'all try to be smart in areas you need to not try to be smart the way you try to be smart. What do I mean by that? You say stuff like, man, I ain't investing in the stock market, it's rigged. Come on, man, you know how stupid that sound? And here's why that's stupid. Because too many people done got rich from the stock market. And you trying to think of excuses not to get your money to work for you? Come on, man. Come on, woman. That sounds stupid. So you want to invest, you want to save, you want to invest, you want to find passive incomes. Like, and then some of y'all, well, I ain't gonna listen to nobody who ain't rich. Okay, I don't fully agree with that either, because people who have failed and have learned from their mistakes can teach you too. So you don't wait till a person gets rich, because you don't even know how they got rich. So these are some ways you can avoid being check to check. And that, again, the next one is, don't spend all your money like I call it a threshold. My threshold is the amount that I don't want to go underneath. And I won't go underneath no matter what. You got kids. Kids gonna want everything. Don't give them everything. Don't give them everything. You gotta build your future, your empire. And then that last thing I would say is get yourself some life insurance. It's a lot of life insurance policies. If you pay into them, if you have an emergency, you can actually draw a little bit off of those. You shouldn't, but you can. It's a good option to have. Well, there you have it. Go back, watch it again if you have to. Watch the whole video. Ways not to live check to check. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, give a subject if you want to hear about. Again, I'm the Truth Blessed. I don't got a lot of subscribers. I don't get a lot of views, but that's not because I don't know what I'm talking about. Ask YouTube why that happens. But thanks for watching, nonetheless. And again, like, share, and subscribe.